Hello, 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 hello. Hello, people out there in the world. Um I have no words. This is definitely going to be an interesting show, and I'm going to try and make it quick simply because like I am on the go myself out here in Buckhead trying to get some things accomplished today. So for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, welcome to Life Discussions with Dr. Jefferson. That's me. I'm super happy to be here, and I am super happy to be bringing you guys this content and trying to do it a little bit more often, more frequently, and more consistently here recently. So, Life Discussions with Dr. Jefferson is a podcast, a show where I discuss a wide array of topics. And as you may see on the disclaimer, right, in the description below, wherever you are, and don't forget to click like, subscribe, turn your notification bell on, and all that good stuff. Um, Listening to, tuning into, and subscribing to the content here in this show is not a viable substitution for getting help when you need help from a mental health professional, although I am a mental health professional and I do have these discussions quite frequently, and I talk to people about coping strategies and things like that on here, along with a lot of other things. It's not a substitution, right? So it's just a talk show, and most of the content that I cover here is basically my opinion, my clinical conceptualization, and those of my guests as well. So that covers the disclaimer stuff, right? Um, but so, mm, all right, the the nature of dating in America. Let's talk about that. And let's talk about whether or not, if some of you who come in here are from other places, feel free to share your experiences as well. I'm gonna try what I'm doing right now. I'm kind of looking in my bag, trying to find my device so that I can share the content. You guys are gonna excuse me. My kids are gonna send me the lie and Kale. um, but so, but yeah. So I think all in all, when you think about the climate of dating, when we're thinking about online dating, what that is and what dating in general looks like now, it can be a little bit complex. We are amidst recovery from a global pandemic where the world has been shaken up, if you will, and essentially things are quite difficult for most people when you think about dating. Nobody wants to get nobody else's coronavirus, although it's interesting to me how people can do other things that are quite risky and expose themselves to other diseases as well. But yeah, nobody wants to get anybody's coronavirus. Nobody wants to go out to clubs or bars and things like that and put themselves at risk and their family members at risk of being sick. So it makes sense to have, some other means or an online platform to date. Um, But so there's that piece. I did kind of write me a couple of notes and one second. That's just for like my tips and tricks. But I will talk about some experiences as well. So the vast majority of people are asking the burning question of what is the best way to make the best out of dating online, right? And dating online can be a very, very difficult process. I'm going to say that first. And making the best out of dating in general can sometimes be stressful. So, the best thing is probably for you to do the work on yourself so that you can maximize your opportunity to expose yourself and date in general. Um, one second. I got a rude co pilot here. Not everybody is trained to do this stuff, right? I asked to stay still. You just gonna move anyway. We're gonna go right ahead. But so anyway, um, dating in general requires us to get ourselves together, to calibrate ourselves so that we're in a prepared state, and we know what it is that we can't deal with in our circle, right? Um, when you're dating online, I do feel like it's it's a better opportunity to screen out the people that, you know, you don't want to have dealings with, or people who possess the characteristics that are negative or trigger you in some kind of way, or whatever, right? However, I gotta say, there are a lot of people who are dating in the online platform and they're just stealing people's profile pictures and things like that. I'm gonna have an accident. You guys are gonna witness this on camera because he's definitely gonna kill me. I don't know what it is with his driving today, but we just ain't here. So, like I was saying, sometimes you run into people who do those things. They catfish you because they don't want to show them their true selves. And so it's a lot of different reasons that people put, out there as to why it is they use other images other than their own, and they say things online that don't necessarily represent their true self. And so some of those reasons are for professional reasons. People want to protect their career. You got other people who are out here trying to protect their platforms as they're, building and things like that. Then you got some people who just figure, from their low self-esteem and looking at self that, okay, I'm just not going to be able to get anybody if I present my true self, if I put a picture of myself out there. And so I'm not excusing their actions. I'm just giving you guys some of the reasons that people say they do it. Either way, it could definitely be emotionally frustrating and taxing on a person who has been catfished. Personally, I have experienced catfish chronicles or the results of being catfished in the online dating platform, and that can be frustrating. It was frustrating for me. I met a person who was the total opposite of all the pictures they had sent me. And I'm glad that was like one of my first encounters, because then I learned that you need to video chat. So that's one of my tips actually. My first tip is to require face-to-face video chatting from that person once you've decided that, okay, this person seems like a good fit for me. The next one is to accept no excuses to the video chat situation. If that person says that they cannot operate a video device via phone because of inundated practices and things like that, you can lead and guide them through the process of setting up whatever channel it is that you intend to video chat with them on, so that you can make that happen successfully for the both of you. If that person says that they don't have enough storage on their phone, I really don't know what to say to that. You can always ask them to delete an app, right? Or you can ask them to video chat through Facebook. Morris, what would you do if you're trying to date a girl? If you want to meet a new girl? Get in there, left lane.
There's too many ways to video call.
Yeah, so my son says there are too many different ways, too many options to video call people. So that line ain't gonna work. That's what I'm saying. You got some people that still have flip phones though, Mars. That's the reality of it. For real. For real. For real. Lies. You found out a way. Right. So you can see, so everything that has an app, you can do it off the computer, right? So, these dating experts back here in my back seat, my son says that if you got a computer, then if you're on a dating app, then you should have access to video. And I think a lot of these dating apps now are including the video chat feature because people are complaining that they have been catfished. But another piece to this is May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So when I say get it in, for those people out here catfishing other folks and posting other people's pictures, I think you guys need to do some self-work. Try and figure out what it is that's motivating you to encompass these negative behaviors, because it's not right to be catfishing people. Like it's just not right, because essentially you wouldn't want somebody to, well, I don't know if you would want somebody to do that to you or not, but it's just not right. Let me just say that. Um, but my next tip is, make sure that you make it very clear on your dating profile that whomever you decide to move forward with, if you decide to move forward with a person, you require a first date within a certain time frame, and don't intentionally waste your time, right? I think if people are out there and they know they're catfishing folks, because that's the part I never understood. Like, what, you expect to not ever meet them in person or something? I don't understand that piece. But if they're out there catfishing people, then they're now gonna be feeling like, okay, yeah, I probably don't want to continue trying to get at this person, because at the end of the day, they serious. You know what I mean? They want to meet within a week. Um, or use some of those apps that have an embedded video chat feature, and require that they have their video on all the time, because just because you're video chatting with the person doesn't mean that that person's going to turn their video on, right? And then you can ask to see the entirety of the person. You don't have to be catfished out here in these streets wasting your time. Be intentional about what you're doing when you're doing that thing, when you're dating. And another thing that I learned from a conversation the other night is that not everybody who's out here dating in the online apps and things like that, because they got some that people are just really looking for sex and that's it. Be intentional. So be honest about what it is that you're looking for, so that you're not wasting other people's time and you're not putting other people in compromising positions, right? Um, but that's my tips. I hope that you guys are out here and you're careful in your dating endeavors. I'm hoping positive energy your way, wisping it your way, and I really hope that you don't get catfish, because it's terrible. It's a terrible thing, and I've been catfished a couple of times actually, and it sucks. It fucking sucks. So that's all I got. You guys take care of each other. Later days.